Okay, so this video is just to outline the changes that we're going to be making to move the class online. So I already sent you all an email with this and the announcement that you can see here. So I'm basically just going to be going through this announcement and just highlighting where these various things will be located in WebCourses for easier access for you all. So as mentioned before, we didn't have class on Monday. Hopefully that was obvious. And so today I'm posting that video that I mentioned I would make. So first off is I said I update the syllabus, so that's in the same place as always. If you go to Files, and you go to Syllabus, you will find the updated syllabus there with all these changes in it. So there you go. And I just need to open this up again. Okay, the next thing is the lecture is moving online, so you can see here I've outlined all the details. So instead of lecturing for 50 minutes, I'm going to be shortening it to 35 minutes. The reason being, normally in our class, we have a lot of time where I have you all engaging with things and engaging with each other, talking about things, thinking about things. And I still want to give some time to that, but we're not going to have the time for clicker questions. So we lose a lot of time with that. And I've chosen 35 minutes because that allows me to break it into two 15-minute sections. So the video will be one 35-minute video. But I'll only lecture for the first 15 minutes. I'll give a 5-minute break. So if anyone's actually listening in the live stream, 5-minute breaks to go do whatever you want to do, bathroom, whatever, just to kind of let your brain refresh, think about things. And then I'll move into the next 15-minute period. During this, because I will be live streaming these, normally I just take questions in class. But now what I'll be doing is I'll be taking questions during the lecture itself. And so you will actually be able to kind of ask these questions, and I'll have this open so I can actually see the questions. So you can ask them online. And so let's just even show you where the lecture files is. So reminder, these are the same broadcasts I've been doing since the beginning of class. So these are located in the Pages tab. So the one I'm, for instance, doing right now, hopefully you found it because it's the one I'm doing right now. But if we scroll down, it should be in here somewhere. Oh, they moved it all the way to the bottom, just alphabetically. So if you open this up, this is where you'll find the actual video itself. And we can see, it's going to be a little trippy here. But I just want to show you all where you can actually respond in real time. Yes. So the chat's right on over here doing right now. But if we scroll down, it should be in here somewhere. And so you can see you can ask questions.
They moved it all the way to the bottom, just alphabetically.
If you ask them after the class, I'm not going to.
So if you open this up,
watching the lecture,
this is where you'll find the actual video itself. And we can see
during our normal.
It's going to be a little trippy here.
Class time, so starting at 11:30. And going for the.
But I just want to show you all where you can actually respond in real time.
And if anyone has any further questions, I'm happy to.
So the chat's right on over here doing right now. But if we scroll down, it should be in here somewhere.
And so you can see you can ask questions.
They moved it all the way to the bottom, just alphabetically.
So that's the lecture. After the class, I'm not going to.
So if you open this up, this is where you'll find the actual video itself. And we can see
getting changed. And so the way I'm going to change those is I am moving those. So if you go to assignments, you will see the normal clicker questions tab, which has usually the scores I post for the classes. But you'll see I've already posted the one for Wednesday's class, 3/18/20. And this is how we're going to be doing clicker questions, is actually as these quizzes. Now I use the word quiz just because that's what WebCourses calls it. It's not a quiz. It's just how I have to set them up in here. And so you'll see here, if I go to actually the student view, because it's not going to look the same. So go to student view, be the assignment tab. I don't have any grades because I do not give myself grades. All right, and you'll see here you take the quiz. You have as much time as you want. I'm debating whether to give 1 or 2 attempts. We'll see how this first one goes with 1 attempt. But you'll hit this, and it'll give you all the questions just like a quiz. and you're welcome to work on these with other people, like in like class, do whatever you want. So this will only be available. So again, you have unlimited time. It tells you how much time has passed, but as much time as you want. This will only be available until the next class. So you can't just wait forever to do these. In the same way that at clicker questions, you had to be in class to do these. With these clicker questions, you just have to do them before the next class. So this quiz will be available until you see here March 20th at 11:20 a.m. I'll need to adjust that to 11:30, but that's our normal starting time. So Friday at 11:30. Okay, and as far as solutions, I'll still provide those solutions, but those will be provided after it. So for example, this one is due Friday at 11:30, and so I'll post the solutions after that day, and it'll be a video just like the lecture, and that video will be available in the Pages tab, in the same tab as the lecture itself. So so for instance, you see here all the videos so far. Instead of it just having the lecture video, it will also have a separate video, which I'll add later on, which will have the solutions to the clicker and my usual walking through those. I won't be live streaming that just because, I will be using the live stream, but I won't like post when exactly that's happening just because that's going to be kind of challenging. It has to be sometime after class, and there's just no easy way to kind of do that. So that'll be there though, and if you have any questions on the solutions for that, please let me know. So big change for the tests. We previously had our test scheduled for the 25th, which was a week from the 18th, which as of today is a week from tomorrow. I've bumped that into April 1st. So I moved that back one more week, get the test that you've seen so far, a structure you're familiar with, and I'll be able to do the partial credit. So that's ideal, is doing the continued format that you all have seen so far. But if we do have to move to online, this also gives me time to generate the bank of questions I need to this. So what we'll end up doing is, instead of doing the 8 multiple choice and 2 free response, I'm going to do some combination of multiple choice, maybe one of those where you actually put a numerical answer. We'll see. WebCourses has a nice kind of setup for doing that, which I like. But in any case, it'll be a bunch of questions. I won't be able to give partial credit on it just because there's no way for me to get all the responses from you all and actually look at them. Unfortunately, I can't think of any feasible way to do that. So in response, I'm going to bump up the number of questions, likely to somewhere between 15 and 20 questions. Again, probably multiple choice, maybe some numerical answer. I'm still debating on that. So this will be a test, which means you're going to have a set time limit. It'll be about an hour and 20 minutes. You do need to do this on your own. I do not want you working with other people because it is a test. If you're working with other people, you are violating the code of conduct in the class, and that's a huge deal. And then I would have to report you if I found out about that. So this has to be on your own. And where this will be available is same thing. You'll go to assignments, and kind of just like the clicker questions, I'll end up putting it. So if you scroll past all those, all right. Okay. If you hit show by type, that's better. So I could collapse the clicker questions, collapse the quizzes. It will show up here midterm. It'll be a quiz as well, because that's the only way I can make these kind of questions in web courses. So you'll click this, you open it, and you start it. It's going to be a bunch of questions. To reduce the chances of people cheating, I will be developing a bank of questions, and people will get different questions. That's just me trying to do as much precautions as I can. And I will tell you all, you can use whatever resource you want. There's no way for me to prevent you all from using online resources. So I'm just going to design the test around the assumption that you'll be using those. So you're going to be allowed to use whatever resource you want, book, notes, online, whatever. And I'll be doing what I can to make certain that the questions I find aren't ones that you can easily look up as well. So again, this is going to take a lot of work for me to do, but I'll do what I have to do. Yeah, and the plan is an hour and 20 minutes to accommodate the increased number of questions. We'll see after I've made all these if I need to give a bit more time or less time. But the idea is I need some time frame so that, yes, you can look things up online, but also the goal is that you still need to study for this. If you are not prepared for this, you won't have enough time to do it. If you are prepared, you will have enough time to do it. So the timing is to honestly prevent cheating and actually test your understanding. The goal is not to give you time so that you learn the content while taking the test. So that's the plan for that. And again, unfortunately, I do not believe I can give partial credit, so I'm trying to make changes to accommodate that. Okay. Last thing is office hours. So because we can't meet in person, because everything's moved to remotely, I will be still holding office hours, but they will be using Zoom. So if you notice here on the left, there is a new tab that you should see called Zoom. And let me go to student view over here. So there's Zoom. If you click on Zoom, you may need to make an account. I don't believe you will. But you can see here, I have already scheduled all of the office hours, and they are reoccurring, meaning just our Wednesday office hours are every Wednesday at the set time. So they're all at the same time as usual. And when those times occur, you will just hit join, and that'll kind of get you set up and running in there. So hopefully this should work pretty well. Then yeah, you hit open Zoom meetings. I will be the one hosting it, so probably there's nothing there. Okay, great. So it shows you my face for a second. But yeah, you'll hit join at the described time. You do not need to have a web camera for it. You will need to have some audio so we can actually converse. And Zoom's nice. There's some functionalities I'm still trying to learn with it, but you'll be able to actually, I can even split people into separate kind of spaces, so I can still maintain confidentiality if anyone has any specific things that they want to ask that they don't want other people to hear about. I'll still be able to do that. If people are working on similar problems, we can move into the similar rooms. And to also facilitate working together with this, if you've attended my office hours in person, one of the things we do is work on a whiteboard, and we're going to be using this online whiteboard called Awe App, which basically is just a shared workspace where if I draw something, other people can also draw on this. So granted, this may not be usable by everyone to the fullest extent. So this is just an option. So for instance, I have a smart screen, I have a touch screen, so I can use my stylus to draw on it. So that at least allow me to show you kind of worked out stuff and an easy way for you to view. But if you don't have a smart screen, that's okay. If you don't if you don't have a touch screen, we can also just use the webcam and you can show me your worked out work with the webcam, and that's also sufficient. Well, we have options there. If you don't have a webcam, we can just kind of talk it through and figure that as well. So we have a lot of options there. So Zoom is what we're using to replace office hours. I'm still holding those. Yes, and those won't be recorded because they're office hours. So that is everything. If you have any further questions about this, so this is everything with the lecture. I just sent an email, but the labs, they're still figuring that out. The labs are clearly more difficult to move to online, so they're still brainstorming how they're going to do that. But as soon as either I or the TAs have that information, we'll let you know. Yeah, and just again, everything's going to continue to be, it's just everything's online. Thankfully, a lot of the stuff we already had is online. Our quizzes were already online. Those don't change. I'm not changing any due dates with the quizzes, so please keep checking those. And the biggest recommendation, and I'll repeat this over and over again, is this transition to online, while it provides more flexibility, it also provides more opportunities to not engage with the course. So you are going to have to be more vigilant. I will be not adjusting my expectations. I'll do the best I can and adjust things to make certain that the things so for instance, the tests are actually measuring what I want it to be measuring. But I do not plan on making significant changes to what I expect for you all to learn in this course. We're just transitioning a different way. And yes, I'll make some changes, and I do recognize that this is introducing some challenges, which I'm willing to work around. But I still do want you all learning the same content because that is the purpose of this class. and I want you all to be successful in future classes, so I want you to be ready. All right, so that concludes this video, and again, if you have any questions, please email me. You can email me through WebCourses inbox if you didn't already know that. And yeah, I will talk to you all tomorrow during our first online class.